in those nations. Nobody can shut your dream. And you know you are the one that is pregnant with it, so nobody can. Have you seen a woman who is pregnant? How many of you are married here? Come on now. You know now you're married. The child didn't jump now. You know what he did, right? So my point is, no matter how your husband, for those that have been pregnant, tells you, oh, sorry, oh, how do you feel? You're having discomfort. There are times in the night, only you sleep your sleep, carry your body. Right? You are the only one. He can't carry that pregnancy for you. No matter how you explain, the person cannot understand. You are the one who tells yourself that. Sometimes, no matter how the person encourages you and says straight, sometimes your husband can even know. You feel like giving, oh my goodness. You know what I mean, right? It's kind of like, before you know it, you have slept off. Like, so when we're doing the worship, what we're doing together, but now you have slept off. You know, you guys know what I mean. Singles, let me not go deep because of the singles here. And then you are there. You are carrying it on your own. When you get to the labor room, I don't know what you guys call it here in the US, you have to push. Say push. No matter how the man tries to say, oh, honey, I love you. Sometimes you don't want to hear that. What's love? You know, that kind of thing. My point is, you are the one with the baby, the seed. If you do not tell yourself you are willing to push, nobody will push it. So until you see yourself as one that is pregnant with something, until you see yourself that you have the enough capacity to push, nobody can shut what you have seen about you. It says we're like grasshoppers in our own sight, and so we were in their sight. That's an insult. So they already insulted themselves before the people even saw them as that. People can see you as small, but if you see yourself as big, whatever they say, their comment doesn't matter. Look at the story of Joshua. Let's look at Joshua 6, verse 1 to 2. What you see. Joshua 6, verse 1 to 2. Joshua 6, verse 1 to 2. Look at the story. Now, Jericho was securely shut up because of the children of Israel. None went out and none came in. Verse 2. And the Lord said to Joshua, see, look at the exclamation mark. I have given Jericho into your hand, its king and the mighty men of valor. Now, the Lord didn't say, I have given Jericho into your hand. He said, see. Because somebody can give you a prophecy. If you don't see yourself in it, it can't amount to anything. So the Lord told Joshua, see. Even the Lord knew how powerful faith can be activated when you can perceive right. Say, see. He didn't just start with, I have given Jericho into your hand, his king and the mighty man. No, see. Because I know that you're already victorious. But if you don't see yourself as victorious, you can't conquer Jericho. So you have to see it. See, I have given Jericho into your hands. So before this, he told them what to do. The next verse that talks about the instruction, march around the city and all of that. See, if they did not see it, even if they marched around the city, they would never have conquered. So it's not the marching round. They had to see themselves as victorious before the marching round happened. So while they were marching around with people that have sight. They knew something. Let's look at Genesis 21. Just showing different stories to tell you the power of sight. Genesis 21, 14 to 19. New King James. Genesis 21, 14 to 19. Look at this. This was the story of Hagar when Abraham sent her away. You know Hagar that gave birth to Ishmael and all. Now, so Abraham rose early in the morning and took bread in a skin of water and put it on her shoulder. He gave it and the boy to Hagar and sent her away. Then she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. Verse 15. And the water in the skin was used up, and she placed the boy under one of the shrubs. 16. Then she went and sat down across from him at a distance of about a bow shot. For she said to herself, so the water, the thing she carried, snack, everything used. The Chick-fil-A, all of. You know what I mean? So, For she said to herself, let me see the death of the boy. So she sat opposite him and lifted her voice and wept. Let me see the death of the boy. And God heard the voice of the lad. Then the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven and said to her, what ails you, Hagar? Fear not, for God has heard the voice of the lad where he is. 18. Arise, lift up the lad and hold him with your hand, for I will make him a great nation. Verse 19. Then God did what? Opened her eyes. And she saw what? And God did what? Opened her eyes. She was stranded. She was crying. Like she wished her son should die. But God did what? God spoke, but he needed to open her eyes. Because you see, after speaking, she doesn't see. She can't see the well. Then God opened her eyes and she saw a well of water. Can I tell you something? The well of water was there, but she was too focused on her problem that she didn't see the provision. It didn't say, then God opened her eyes and provided a well of water. The well of water was there. She was too focused on her problem that she didn't see that there was a provision. And that's how many of us are many times. Too focused on the symptoms. Too focused on, no money. Too focused on, I don't know what's this happening, this nation. And all that. Too focused on our family problem. Too focused on the heartbreak. We cannot see the solution. The solution has been there. You just need to open your eyes to see it. It has been there. It was already baked. It has been settled. God has spoken, but you have not been able to see because your focus is on the problem. You can't see the provision. Then God opened her eyes and she saw. The well has been there, but she was too focused on the problem. She couldn't see. God had to open her eyes. Let's look at another interesting story. 2 Kings 6, verse 16 to 17. 2 Kings 6, verse 16 to 17. Thank you, Holy Spirit. 2 Kings 6, verse 16. Thank you. Now listen, this was the story of king of Syria and king of Israel. The king of Syria was trying to oppress the king of Israel. And Elisha the prophet was in Dothan. And Elisha was a prophet, so he could tell what was going to happen, the next thing that was going to happen and all that. And so, the king of Syria was already finding out that, there was somebody that was revealing secrets, was wondering what was going on and all that. I'm just giving you the back end. You can go and read it. Fast forward. Now, what happened there? So he answered. Now, what happened there was the king of Syria was going to send his people down to Dothan to go and look for who is that person that is revealing what's going on. Who is that person that's revealing the strategy? Was angry. Was going to send people, warriors, to Dothan to go and meet the prophets. Now, the servant of Elisha was threatened. He was afraid. So he answered his servant. He said, do not fear. For those who are with us are more than those who are with them. Verse 17. Listen. When Elisha told his servant, I'm too sure the servant was not convinced. See, those with us are more than those who are with them. The guy wasn't convinced. So Elisha, what did Elisha do? Elisha prayed and said, Lord, what was the prayer? Lord, I pray. Open his eyes. Did he pray that, oh God, let's win the battle? He said, Lord, I pray. Open his eyes that he may see. Then the Lord opened the eyes of the young man and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots. If Elijah had told him, mountain is full of chariots and fire, it's like your pastor coming up and saying, you've made it, you'll be great. If you don't see yourself as great, nothing. So if Elisha had told him, my servant, the mountain is full of horses and chariots of fire, we are protected, the man would not have believed. He needed to see to believe. Sight activates faith. There's something about when you see for yourself. Pastor, we preach from morning, preach every morning. You are great. You are wealthy. If you don't see, there is nothing pastor can do. Can't walk. So Elisha had to pray. Lord, I pray, open my church members' eye to see. You will marry this year. If you don't see it that way, you can't get married. So it's not because the prophecy is wrong, it's that you have not had the right sights. There's nothing wrong with prophecy. Prophecy is right. So you come back and say, "But Pastor, I thought you said, 2026 I will marry." Did you see it? Whilst he may preach from the pulpits, if the prophecy is not revelational to you, nothing can be fruitful. Because sight wombs prophecy. Elisha prayed and said, "Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see." Let's look at verse 18. Another very interesting part in the scripture. Now listen. When the oppressors, the Syrians, came down to him, Elisha prayed to the Lord. Look at it. That's to tell you the power of sight. Now the oppressors now came down to meet Elisha. Elisha now prayed to the Lord and said, "Strike these people, I pray, with blindness." So, this other part, he prayed that his servant should see right. This other part, they need to see wrong. "Strike these people, I pray, with blindness." And he struck them with blindness according to the word of Elisha, verse 19. Now Elisha said to them, "This is not the way, nor is this the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom you seek." But he led them to Samaria, to the wrong path. When you see wrongly, you'll be on the wrong direction. For singles here, trusting God for marriage, may you not see wrong. The problem is not that love is blind. Love has sights. You are the one that is blind to the love that has been seen. You see where. Hi. That's how my husband was around me. Thank God that God opened my eyes to see. You may not stay there. This is not a relationship conference. I'm saying, Lord, you're saying, "Pastor Emmanuel, you're not praying enough. I can't find the right partner." The persons around you are the one. It's not, love is not blind. They are holding camera. It's not in the lens. You have spiritual lens. ANWINLI, don't go there. Don't go there. So he struck them with blindness. This is the power of sight. They went to the wrong direction. So when you see wrong, you will miss it. See, when I was going to get married, because I knew where I was coming from, I came from a broken home. One prayer I prayed that, "Lord, open my eyes to see where." And listen, in your journey of having the right side, there are people you must unfollow on Instagram. There are people you must unfollow. Celebrities that are, you know what, I don't want to do marriage, I want to do unfollow. Because if you don't unfollow, you become blind. And blind people always move in wrong direction. The people I need to unfollow. Imagine me coming from a broken home, they're not seeing things already on social media. There are people I need to unfollow. Even not just on social media, even friends. They may even be in church, they have wrong mindset. Unfollow. Can be in choir departments that we sing together doesn't mean that we sing the same mind. The same mind. You need to unfollow. So that you can see where. They'll tell you business don't make it in this ground. You don't understand. No. See, when we're about starting our ministry, somebody said to me that pastor's wife, they suffer. And when you are starting ministry, you'll be so hungry. And when you'll be hungry, there's a way you start, you'll be so. I said, she said, naming people that have gone through that. I said that they've gone through doesn't mean that I must go through. And followed her. There are even people that are biologically related to you. That they are biologically related doesn't mean that they are destiny related. So that we can pray. I'll leave you with one or two. How do you activate sight? I've already said it. Train your attention. Force yourself to focus on the right things. Force it. Because you know why you must force it? What you consistently focus on shapes the outcome of your life. Force yourself. Force it. You must train your attention. Tell yourself that there are people that you must give attention to. There are things, there are news you must give attention. You mustn't be everywhere. You mustn't. If you know that you are getting polluted, then don't listen. Don't watch. Don't be in that conversation. You must not hear it. That is news doesn't mean it must be news to you. You mustn't hear it. Train your attention. What you give attention to. And this is what Peter and John was trying to do to the blind man at the beautiful gate, or the lame man at the beautiful gate. Look at it. Let's look at something. Acts 3 verse 1 to 5. Acts 3, 1 to 5. It says, now Peter and John went up together to the temple at the hour of prayer, the 9th hour. Verse 2. And a certain man, lame from his mother's womb, was carried, whom they laid daily at the gate of the temple, which is called Beautiful, to ask alms from those who entered the temple. This is what he was doing with his life. He was lame. He was already lame from birth, a birth defect. So he got used to begging for alms. Probably he may have tried, he has prayed, but yet no answer. So he got used to begging for alms. Now this guy who's seen Peter and John, he next client for him, customer to beg. If you're from Nigeria, you know what they call Bambiala. You don't know you're Gen Z. Who's seen Peter and John about to go into the temple asked for alms. He did not stop because he was already used. There's a certain time. It just gets to a time in your life. You just get used to certain things. Now, fixing his eyes on him with John, Peter said, look at us. He didn't perform a miracle first. He said, look at us. Because you must force the attention. If you don't force yourself to concentrate on certain things, you begin to drift to the north or the south, and then you don't know where you are. That's when people are confused. He gave them his attention. Look at us. Because, you see, Peter and John, he has seen Peter and John. Before he knew it again, he's looking at the next customer. He's looking, his mind is moving like moving. So Peter and John had to command him, look at us. Look at us. You must train your attention. Listen, I need to see marriage differently. When I was in school, I already turned into a tomboy because I hated men with a passion. I saw the way my dad treated my mom. I had so much hatred for men. I didn't want to hear marriage. It was that bad. And then I followed my friend one day to her house. She would talk about her mom. Sometimes like that we call her when we invest. You hear love you. I'm like, love you. My father doesn't do love you. I don't know, love. Love you, say love you too. I'm like, I see the way I'm like, these things exist. So one day I told her, I said, okay, this holiday, let me just follow. I never looked forward to going home for holiday. So I just said, well, let me just follow you to your house. And I traveled with her to our house. When I was there, I saw her father would come and say, he'll say, baby, what kind of food do you care for? And then somehow, and then I just happened that it was their marriage anniversary. And then next thing, they were now wishing themselves happy anniversary. I'm like, anniversary. I don't even know the year my parents got married. I don't even know that there's something called Annie. How much more anniversary? So, and then when I followed her home to visit her parents, I decided to go again. What was I doing? I was training my attention, training my eyes on what to see so that I can have a different picture about marriage. Don't change the picture you have seen. You will have you still repeat the same negative pattern. Because listen, it's one thing for one pastor to lay hand on you and deliver you. If you don't change your narrative by forcing your eyes to see differently, you repeat the cycle of your parents that you are praying to run away from. I'm telling you. Because whilst you may be delivered, deliverance will happen. You must be very intentional about certain things. If you don't see a business person yielding results. You don't try to just look at some people who are really making it. No matter how you pray from now till tomorrow, if you don't change your side,